And we are live. It's quality time. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the live stream for Watchalong of qualifying at the Temple of Speed, Monza. Everyone starts with the talking of the track history. So here's the track history. The Autodromo Nazionale di Monza has held every Formula One World Championship race apart from 1980. So the track with the most experience and maybe the track with the most fun as well. In FP3, we saw 4 teams are in the fight for pole position. Yes, 4 teams, 7 drivers, everyone with equal chance of getting pole position. We can see on the screens as well the FP3 results. Mercedes were quickest, but don't get carried away because the data from Formula 1 suggests something else. So it will be quite exciting to see how the qualifying pans out. The green lights will be open for Q1 in 3.5 minutes. So in the meantime, everyone do like the stream and subscribe the channel as we are here for qualifying of round 15 of Formula 1 World Championship. Who do you guys think will get pole position? Do share your thoughts in the live chat. Dark Batman says it's Norris. Leonardo says it's Russell. I think it can be Russell or it can be Hamilton or Leclerc. So can't wait for qualifying to begin. Can't wait for FP3 to begin because I will say for Q1 it's almost certain that the Saubers of Bottas and Zhou and Ocon and Gasly will be knocked out because they certainly seemed to be the slowest in FP3. So yeah, but cannot say anything about Q3 though. Also, why do I have a feeling that Sergio is not gonna do well? Because you can see on the practice results as well that Sergio is P18. Surely he will not be P18 in qualifying, but I just have a feeling that the field is so close this weekend that even if Sergio does the slightest of the mistake, I think it's game over for him. So yeah, I hope and I believe it will be the best qualifying of the season, and the cars will be on track in 2 minutes. In the meantime, I just thought of the work for the graphics, so just give me a moment. Okay, so the graphics are ready, and yeah, back to discussion of qualifying. As I said, everyone be sure to share your predictions for qualifying the live chat. It will be a great discussion for qualifying. Here on screen, I have Lando Norris, who is one of the favorites for taking pole this weekend because we all know last weekend, if you guys might have tuned in, Lando absolutely smashed qualifying. And when I say smashed, he was absolutely in a league of his own. So yeah, maybe Lando Norris can take pole position this weekend, but the McLaren doesn't seem to have as much of a big advantage as it had last weekend. We have Max Verstappen on screen, who I think is currently in one of the slowest car because in practice I didn't see any blistering laps from Max, which set my eyes apart and oh, Max is gonna dominate this weekend. It was quite a silent and underground session for Max. In FP1 though he was fastest, but FP2 and FP3 I didn't see Max even for a moment on my screen. So yeah, maybe a bit of disadvantage for Max, but we never know. He might be hiding something, as here it's green light and pit lane is open for qualifying. There you go. Pit lane is now open. We have 18 minutes and the drivers who will be slowest after the end of 18 minutes will be eliminated in Q1. Then we have Q2, 15 minutes, the bottom 5 drivers again will be knocked out, and for Q3 we'll have a top 10 shoot down. So yeah, but An important thing to discuss for Monza is, if you guys might have seen the qualifying from 2019 here on track. I know it's quite a long while ago, but just a second. But in qualifying for 2019, what happened was, at Monza, we have if so first of all, I will let you guys know what a tow is. In Formula 1 terms, a tow is the driver in front gives a slipstream to the driver behind. Slipstreams in the sense, the driver in front is punching all the hole in the air for the car behind so that it can go faster on the straight line. So what the teams usually tend to do in qualifying here is, between teammates, a teammate will be ahead of his own teammate, so he can punch a hole in the air for his teammate that is a car behind, which in turn gives him an advantage in terms of straight line speed. And when I mean advantage, at Monza it's approximately 3 to 4 tenths per lap, which is quite an enough margin to get pole or to be knocked out in Q1. So most of the teams will try to practice tow, that is, they will set one driver ahead another of the they will send one driver ahead of the another driver so that he can punch a hole in the air for the driver behind, which in turns give the advantage to the driver behind and can get a faster lap time. What the teams try to do is maintain a fair enough gap between the drivers, because we all know drivers cause dirty air. So teams calculate the ideal gap which can give a good tow but can't get affected by the dirty air. So that was Sainz class, but now we have Carlos Sainz on track. So is Leclerc, Hülkenberg, Gasly, Magnussen, Ocon and Zhou. So few drivers opting to get out on track. But yeah, as I was saying, in the 2019 qualifying session here at Monza itself, what happened was, as I said, tow is quite strong around this track. You can gain around 3 to 4 tenths per lap because of the slipstream. So what the teams were trying to do was, no team was willing to come out of the pits in first position. You will ask why? Because if they thought, if we come out in front, then we will have to give tow to the driver behind, and the driver behind is our rival. So the teams were trying to delay getting out of the pits as much as possible. And what this situation caused was, there are only 2 minutes left on the timer, and all the drivers realized that it's too close to getting the cutoff margin. So all the drivers at once got on the track, were battling for pole position, and at the end it was only one driver who was able to make it to the line, and all the drivers were not even able to start the lap. So in all, tow is very powerful around Monza, and no one would like to give a tow to the other driver. That's what I want to say. So the teams will definitely try to orchestrate it as better as possible. So they have an advantage from other driver, but they don't give a tow to other driver. That was I want to say. But here is Carlos Sainz, one of the favorites for getting pole position, starting his flying lap. Here is Carlos with DRS open. Ferrari having the fastest straight line speed throughout the practice. So yeah, can be a great advantage of Ferrari this weekend. Let's see turn 1 and 2. As I said, the curves have been flattened out this weekend because of safety issues. So Carlos taking a lot of curve there. As Charles Leclerc also starts his flying lap. Charles Leclerc through Curva Grande, decent first looking sector. 26.4. I think the fastest sector in FP3 was also 26.4. So Carlos smashes the first sector from FP1. Charles Leclerc does a 26.4 as well, but cannot beat his teammate through the Ascari chicane. Through the Lesmos, first and second Lesmo. Pierre Gasly saying that he has some smoke at the back of his car. Let's see what he does. Through the first and the second Lesmos goes Carlos Sainz. The car looks quite hooked in. And here is on board with Charles Leclerc. Now I think Sainz has aborted his flying lap. On board with Charles Leclerc on his flying lap. Through the Ascari chicane, it's purple sector 2. And going around the final sector now, Charles Leclerc. The lap looks decent. Let's see what lap time does. Charles Leclerc comes on the final corner. Goes fastest, a 1 minute 20.074, 7 tenths faster than Nico Hülkenberg. I don't know what happened on the lap of Carlos Sainz. He was great in sector 1 but had to abort his lap. I think he might go for another try now. So out of the front runners, it's Charles Leclerc who has set a lap time of a 1 minute 20.074. And I think, okay. What I was saying is, I think that there might be some teams and drivers that might be looking for a double cooldown lap, because here's Carlos Sainz's lap. So here's Carlos Sainz through Lesmo 2. You can see on a screen the red part of the track, the second red part. So Carlos Sainz went through Lesmo 2, dipped a wheel in the gravel and lost quite a lot of lap time, so aborted his lap. Here is Max Verstappen on screen, who looked a bit weak in practice. Let's see if we can turn this around in qualifying, because we all know Max is a driver who can extract the absolute maximum out of his car. And here he starts his flying lap. Max Verstappen eyeing for, I think, his 8th or ninth pole this season. I'm not sure about the number. Here is Max Verstappen, speed trap 342 kph. Not the absolute fastest. I think the Ferraris are doing 346 to 347. Lando Norris also starts his flying lap, so it will be a great comparison between these two. Max Verstappen going around Covo Grande at the end of sector 1, 26.6 for Max and 26.4 for Norris. So Norris 2 tenths up on Max Verstappen through first sector. Piastri doing a 35.5, so I think Piastri may be on a double cooldown lap here. So, but interestingly, Lando Norris is down on Charles Leclerc's time to the first sector. Let's see what Max does to the second sector. 26.9 for Max Verstappen in sector 2, almost matches Charles Leclerc. Coming up is Lando Norris sector speed. Let's see what he can do. Lando Norris does a 26.8 from sector 2. As we start the sector 3, Max Verstappen is matching Charles Leclerc while Lando Norris is ahead of Charles Leclerc. Let's see where these two pan out as Max Verstappen rounds the final corner. Fastest sector 3 for Max Verstappen and moves up into P3. Now it's Lando Norris to cross the line, and Norris goes fastest now. Lando Norris takes provisional first position here at Italy, 1.6 times faster than Charles Leclerc. So yeah, the pace advantage, the McLarens definitely have the pace advantage here. And a thing to notice is, as I said at the start of the stream, that slipstream will be the major key here on this track. But Lando Norris did not get any slipstream from his teammate and still is able to be P1, which means quite a lot in itself, because if Norris is able to get a slipstream, he can surely be a tenth or two even more faster. As I said, Oscar Piastri, no, he was not on a double warm-up lap. He made a mistake going to turn 1, locked up, went straight on and had to abort his lap. The lockup should surely have damaged Oscar Piastri's tire by quite a lot, but yeah, I think he started his lap now. Yes, Oscar Piastri has now started his first flying lap. 26.7 in the first sector, not bad, but still 3 tenths slower than Charles Leclerc. In the meantime, no one is crossing the line, so thank you very much everyone who have tuned in. Please don't forget to like the stream and subscribe the channel. It really helps and motivates me a lot. So yeah, I don't think the Mercs are on track now. It will be quite interesting to see what lap times the Mercedes can do, because they looked quite quick, and when I say quite quick, they were very quick in practice. So let's see what lap time they do, as Alex Albon does a lap time of 1 minute 20.8, which is almost a second slower than Lando Norris. Here is Oscar Piastri, decent lap from Oscar, no great sector times, but still looks hooked on, as Oscar Piastri crosses the line, goes P4, 1 minute 20.488, 5 tenths slower than Lando Norris. But we know these are tires which are more a lap older and surely have locked up, so definitely a lot of performance there in for Oscar Piastri, but not a great first lap there. I think the Mercs have started their flying laps. We will keep an eye on what lap times they can do as well. 9 minutes to go in Q1, and still there are a lot of drivers which haven't set a lap time, which amazes me a lot, because traditionally by this time we have 8 to 9 minutes left. Almost all the drivers have set their first flying laps, as we ride on board with George Russell, who is completing his first sector. First sector time, George Russell 26.6, 2 tenths slower than Lando Norris, but a bit faster than Max Verstappen. So yeah, let's see what lap times Mercedes can do here. Mercedes are not absolutely setting the world alive here. 27.0 in second sector and 26.6 in first sector. Not great sector times, they look decent, but nowhere enough for fastest, as here is George Russell crossing the line, P4, 4 tenths slower than Lando Norris, 120.3. His teammate Lewis Hamilton goes P5, a tenth slower, again half a second slower than Piastri, half a second slower than Norris, sets into P5. So Mercedes definitely don't seem to have as much amount of weight. Mercedes definitely don't seem to have as much amount of weight as they had in qualifying. sorry, practice. Oh, there is Carlos. You can see at the bottom half of your screen, fastest sector 1 Carlos Sainz. Let's see what lap time he can do. As here is okay. I think the reason why Carlos got the fastest first sector was on the screen. I see now that Carlos Sainz had a huge slipstream into turn 1 from Lewis Hamilton. So definitely an advantage there from Carlos. Let's see what lap time it does. 27.0 in the middle sector, 2:10 slower than Norris. So I fear it will be a Norris pole again, and Norris domination is making Formula 1 a bit boring, right? Here's Carlos Sainz to the first and second sectors, 27.0 in the second sector, 26.4 in the first sector. Decent sector times here from Carlos Sainz. Let's see where he slots in at the end of his flying lap. Carlos Sainz on his previous flying lap made a mistake through Lesmo 2 and had to abort his lap. This time around, no mistakes done and goes cleanly through Lesmos 1 and 2. And Carlos Sainz through the final corner, foot to the floor, crosses the line, goes P3. 2.5 10 slower than Lando Norris and a 10 slower than his teammate. So yeah, I think it's all okay. Look at P19, guys. I'm just not saying anything. First of all, look at P19. Who is there? It's Checo. What I was saying in the practice stream as well, tires felt nowhere, sliding. Okay, so Russell is complaining that he was sliding quite a lot, and so yeah, I was gonna talk about it. The main issue that Mercedes might face in this session is tire wear, because we all know Mercedes don't seem to perform quite well in high track temperature conditions. So, and I think at the moment track temperatures is nearing 35 to 40 degrees Celsius. So this definitely is not suiting the Mercedes car at all, and Mercedes definitely need to sort this out, or else their fight for pole is definitely not on this, at least this race, because last week at Zandvoort as well, we all know Mercedes looked good in the wet conditions, but as soon as the sun was out and the track was getting warmer, Mercedes were absolutely nowhere. Okay, so back to the thing, guys. Did you see who is in P19? It's Checo. What I was saying is, the field this season is so close at Monza. Checo is somewhat around 8-7 slower than Max, which he usually is. But because of him being 7 slower, Max is P4 and Checo is P19. The gap between first and 19th place, 1.1 seconds. Wow. I think if Joe Guanyu is able to pick up his game, which I'm sure he won't, but if he's able to pick up his game, I'm sure it will be the closest Q1 in the history of Formula 1. Because 1.1 seconds between first and 19th place is absolutely nothing. And the gap between 15th and 19th, that is elimination and being safe, is half a tenth. Half a tenth is basically a slightest of snap of oversteers, and you are able to correct the cars. That's half a tenth. So, as I said, qualifying is gonna be amazing, and I just fear that Checo is not eliminated in Q1 this weekend, because we all know the Red Bull is not as quick as it was traditionally last year, so it might be very difficult for Checo to get to the field, because we all know Monza, though it's called Temple of Speed, but its unofficial name is the DRS train, the DRS train festival, because the okay. So again, the science class is on. What I was saying is, at Monza, if you see it on screen, all the teams tend to run low rear wings, that is low downforce setup for rear wings. Why? Because Monza, we all know, is full of straights, so the teams would like to have as much less drag as possible, and because of it, whenever you open the DRS, it is of no use, because the meaning of DRS is drag reduction system. But if there is no drag on the rear wings, then what's the use of drag reduction system? So once a driver is stuck in the DRS train, they are like kind of stuck there for the whole race. So Checo needs to pick up his game, or I think it will be quite difficult for him to get to the points. And maybe McLaren are looking stronger, so maybe McLaren can even take the lead of the constructor standings this weekend as well. So let's see what happens, as here is Alex Albon on his flying lap. Albon was very quick through practice, currently running in P12, and is improving on his current lap time. So I hope and I believe that Albon might make it through to Q2 this weekend, because the Williams is definitely one of the quickest team out there in terms of straight line. So here is Alex Albon through the first two sectors, great sector times. Sector 3, Rounding out the final corner, Alex Albon goes P8, and I think it might be safe enough. 6 tenths slower than Lando Norris. Great lap time, and you can see he's the best of the rest at the moment. The drivers from first to seventh are the drivers from the top four teams, and then it's Alex Albon. So should be safe Albon, but let's see, because I think the track might have ramped up quite a bit in this meantime, because the track temperatures are quite high, so this might help for the track to ramp up quite quickly. As here you can see on the track map, all the drivers are almost out on track at the exact same time, and that's what I was saying. All the teams will try to keep it as much lazy as possible. Okay, here's Max Verstappen coming out of the pits. Did he crash or something? And there's Max. And oh, who's that? Unsafe release from the McLaren there. Almost coming together. Max Verstappen. I think it was Oscar Piastri. So yeah, unsafe release there for McLaren. But let's see what the FIA have to take on this incident. 2 minutes 22 seconds left in Q1, and the only drivers not on track are the top three, that is Norris, Leclerc and Sainz. And as I said, all the drivers like to come out on the track on the exact same time, which gives them the fastest track conditions and maybe a slipstream as well. Here is Checo Perez on his flying lap. Not a great sector 1, personal best sector 2, crosses the line. Sergio Perez goes P9, a 1 minute 20.5, 6 tenths lower than the fastest time. I think very much should be safe, but still he's slower than a Williams, so we cannot say anything for certain here for Sergio Perez. Is he safe or not? Because all the other drivers have just now started their flying laps. Here is Colapinto on his flying lap. We all know it's his first Formula 1 qualifying session. We all know it's the first qualifying session for Franco Colapinto. Let's see what lap times the Argentine driver can do. Oh no! Oh. As talking about Franco Colapinto, he had a huge trip to the gravel trap there, and surely had to abort his flying lap there. So definitely not great for Franco Colapinto. I think he might look to warm up, cool down his tires and go for a flying lap again, because there is no point finishing this lap, because he surely won't improve. As Lewis Hamilton on the radio is complaining about his seat being hot. The Mercedes drivers, I don't know why, throughout this whole weekend have been complaining that their seats has been getting quite warm. So let's see what they can do, as Zhou Guanyu improves his lap time but only by a tenth. So I think Zhou Guanyu is not even interested in improving his lap time. 1 minute 21.445, the slowest of all. It's yellow flag in sector 3. I'm not sure what has happened. Max Verstappen currently is on a flying lap, fastest sector 2, personal best sector 1, looking great. Oscar Piastri crosses the line, goes P3, it's green flag, so I think maybe a has spun there, not sure. Max Verstappen not improving to the final sector there, I think maybe hampered because of the yellow flag. Max Verstappen crosses the line, doesn't improve. Even though after getting the fastest final sector, Max Verstappen not able to improve his lap time. George Russell, I think, is on the same set of tires, crosses the line, goes P5, Lewis Hamilton stays P7. So the top 7 stay in the top 7. No other driver is getting through the top 7 shield here. So yeah, the drivers currently at risk are Tsunoda, Stroll, Colapinto, Bottas and Zhou. I think Colapinto is not okay. I don't think Colapinto is on a lap. No, Colapinto is not on a lap. So yeah, I think it's over for Colapinto in qualifying, and it's checkered flag. So this is it for Q1, and the drivers knocked out are Yuki Tsunoda, Lance Stroll, Franco Colapinto, Valtteri Bottas and Zhou Guanyu. The gap between first and last, 1.5 seconds. Definitely, it should be said that the mistake cost for Colapinto at least quite a few decent grid positions, because the Williams is quick. We all know that Alex Albon is currently sitting in P8. Franco Colapinto didn't do a bad job. He was just 4 tenths slower than his teammate. But we all know the grid is so close at Monza this season that even a tenth or two and you are out of qualifying. So yeah, that's it for qualifying. Drivers knocked out are Yuki Tsunoda, Lance Stroll, Franco Colapinto, Valtteri Bottas and Zhou Guanyu. And out at front, It's Lando Norris, fastest of all, and Charles Leclerc P2. So the battle for pole is very much on. All the 7 contenders that look to be in fight for pole position still make it through to Q2. So yeah, talking about contention, let's talk about the championships. Yeah, shall we? The drivers and the constructors championships. For the constructors championships, currently McLaren are only 30 points behind Red Bull, and I won't even be surprised if they take the lead of the championship maybe next week, because Perez is not looking in the best of sorry Perez is not looking in the best of his shape at the moment, and Norris and Piastri seem to be flying out there. P1 and P3 is not a mean feat in qualifying one at least. So if things stays as they are, like let's assume that these are race results, so let's count the number of points. 25 for Norris, 15 for Piastri, so 40 for McLaren, and Max is scoring 8 and Checo is scoring 2. So if things stands as they are, McLaren and Red Bull will be matched in terms of points in the constructor standings. If McLaren take the fastest lap, it's their lead, or else it will be Red Bull in the lead because of winning more number of races. But as I was saying, I won't be shocked if McLaren take the lead easily by the next round, because it's very much possible. Also, talking about the driver standing, shall we? Lando Norris is currently 70 points adrift of Max Verstappen in the driver standings. And again, let's assume these are the race results. Norris scoring 25 points and Verstappen scoring 8 points. So if I'm not wrong, Norris will be gaining 17 points on Verstappen this weekend, and the gap in the driver standings will be down to just 53 points. 53 points in 8 races is still quite a lot, but if Max Verstappen has a retirement, Norris is able to win the race, it's championship back on. So yeah, it's looking quite tough for Red Bull and Verstappen out there. Though I agree, Verstappen was on a fast lap and didn't complete his lap time. Start of Q2 will be delayed to FIA. I don't know why. I think maybe there might be some gravel on track or something like that. But the start of Q2 has been delayed. So back to the championship. At the moment, clearly McLaren seem to be the teams to beat again. I don't know how McLaren are doing this. If you guys might have seen the start of 2023 season at Bahrain. Okay, so the reason for the delay of Q2 is there has been a lot of gravel being sprayed on track and the marshals are cleaning with a broom. So yeah, start of Q2 delayed. I don't think it will be delayed by quite a lot, maybe a minute or two. But yeah, as I was saying, if you guys might have seen the first race of Bahrain, I think McLaren were 17th and 19th and were an absolute joke. And when I say a joke, the people are saying that Orange is the new Williams and McLaren are the new Williams and things like that. But the way this team has turned around from last season is, we all know last season for the first time at Austria, Lando Norris, no, I think it was Spain or Austria, it was Spain. Lando Norris got the new upgrades, qualified P3. Austria, I think he was again P3. In Silverstone, both the cars got upgraded, it was second and third position, and Norris was even leading the race. And this season, again at the start, McLaren were not the quickest. It was between Ferrari and Red Bull. Then since Monaco, I don't know which kind of upgrades in Miami it was to be. To be more precise, in Miami, McLaren brought upgrades, and right away they won the race. So yeah, McLaren at the moment in Formula 1 seems to be the only team whose upgrades are working, because we all know the likes of Ferrari and Red Bull and Aston Martin have brought upgrades, quite a huge amount of upgrades to their car this season. But the main thing is that the upgrades are not working. Like the upgrades they bring give some pace advantage to the car, but also simultaneously cause some issues like porpoising or tire wear. So McLaren definitely seem that sorry, and I'm sorry because I'm doing commentary after quite a long time, so sorry for the fumbles there. But yeah, McLaren obviously seem to be the team to beat in Formula 1 at the moment. They are quick in slow speed corners, high speed corners, medium speed corners, straights, fast tracks, slow tracks, all tracks, street circuits, traditional circuits. So yeah, if McLaren have a perfect season, and if there are a couple of DNFs, we will need 2 DNFs from Verstappen. then I will say it's championship very much back on, and it's Max's championship to lose here, because if Norris has a great run of form, because we all know McLaren should prioritize Norris here in terms of the championship. If Norris has a great run of form, here is Yuki Tsunoda. Let's see, I think did he do mistake or something? No, nothing. Okay, Yuki was knocked out, so he was not happy on the radio. Okay, so Yuki is saying that it's quite difficult to drive the cars and it's quite ridiculous. Okay, so as I was saying about the championship, McLaren seem to be the car to beat. They have two great drivers in the hands of Norris and Piastri. All they need to do is simple strategies. We don't need Ferrari 2.0 mashing up the strategies and making the strategy into a tragedy and letting Red Bull go away with both the championships. I would say Red Bull have very much lost the constructor championship, because it's inevitable that they can win the championship unless there is a 1-2 for Red Bull and double DNF for McLaren. I don't think it's possible for Red Bull to hold on to the lead of the constructor standings. But in hello Fire Shardmate, welcome to the stream. But about the drivers, it's definitely Max has a huge advantage, but the way Red Bull are struggling and the likes of Ferrari and Mercedes have caught up. So if in 2 or 3 races there is these 4-5 drivers between Norris and Verstappen, Norris gaining 15 points at least for 3 races, it's championship back on. So yeah, definitely McLaren need to sort out the mess, okay, so qualifying will begin in 3 minutes time. Q2 will begin in 3 minutes. But what I was saying, McLaren need to be a bit more strong with their decisions and have some great strategies, and surely it's the championship to win in the drivers as well. I will say it's still quite early for Norris, because we all know there have been some moments where he has not acted quite maturely, but in last race he was on fire. No childish behavior, just simple championship mindset behavior, and it was a statement. Winning by 22 seconds in front of Max, in front of his home crowd, is nothing less than a statement. And if you look at the final lap, Norris was almost 2.5 seconds faster than Max. So if we consider this, it seems that McLaren had even more pace to win by around 30 to 35 seconds there, but they didn't want to show the actual pace of the car. So McLaren and Norris are quite quick. They just need to stay as a team, stay good as a team, stay clean as a team, be strong with the strategies and judgments. And I have no disrespect to Piastri, but if they are going for a drivers' championship, they need to prioritize one driver. You cannot win a drivers' championship with 2 drivers. It's as simple as that. So McLaren, if like Andrea Stella has been saying that there is no realistic chance of winning the drivers, and they are at the moment focusing on the constructors championship. But if there is like McLaren going for the drivers championship, they definitely need to prioritize Lando Norris. So yeah, that was my take on the championship scenario at the moment. What are your takes? Do let me know in the live chat. We have 10 likes in this stream. It really means a lot to me. So thank you for all the support. Be sure to like the stream, subscribe the channel, all that good stuff. It really helps and motivates me a lot. Looking at the data, Max Verstappen is losing more than 2 tenths to Lando Norris in straight line speed only. So yeah, the Red Bull, which was once said to be the most aerodynamically efficient car, is not quite so at the moment, because McLaren and the likes of Mercedes and Red Bull, and even the likes of Mercedes and Ferrari, are a bit more quicker in terms of straight line speed. As pit lane is now open and Q2 is now underway. And yeah, talking about the championship, it's as clear as that. If McLaren want to win the championship, there are 2 to 3 scenarios. Firstly, Max needs to have a DNF or 2. I would say 2 DNFs would be quite a great championship fight, but a DNF will make it even more exciting. So yeah, maybe a DNF for Max, and in 2 to 3 races, it's like Norris wins the race, and the likes of Hamilton, Russell, Sainz and Leclerc are between Norris, and then it's Verstappen. Verstappen is finishing approximately 5th or 6th. So in this scenario, Norris will be again able to gain 15 points. So 2 races like this, 30 points for Norris, 1 DNF for Max and win for Norris, 55. So we are just left with 15 points, and 15 points is, like we all know, almost nothing in terms of Formula 1. So yeah, cars are now out on track. I think it's Charles Leclerc. No, Carlos Sainz is the first driver on track, followed by Leclerc. Then I think it's the Alpines. Talking about the Alpines, I'm really quite shocked to see them in Q2 here, because we all know the Alpines traditionally struggle quite a lot with the engine, because they have been saying quite a lot on the interviews and all that stuff that they have 15 to 25 horsepower less power than 25 horsepower less than their opponents. So yeah, quite shocked to see the Alpine drivers there, but quite good progress on the team to make it into Q2 at possibly one of the maybe the weakest track of their whole calendar. So here is Carlos Sainz on his prep lap, so is Charles Leclerc. Ferrari seemed good in Q1, not the best, because Piastri was P3, Norris was P1, and we all know Piastri made a huge mistake on his flying lap. So maybe Ferrari need to find a 10th and a half in the final flying lap, and we all know Charles Leclerc, this man is in another league in when it comes to qualifying. So I think, no disrespect to Sainz, but I think if Ferrari needs to get pole, it will be Charles Leclerc who will be able to give them pole position, because Carlos Sainz is lacking that 10th and a half this weekend to Charles Leclerc. So yeah, Charles Leclerc I think will be the driver who can challenge Lando Norris, because at the moment it seems that Lando Norris might run away with this pole position. Looking at the speed traps, Ferrari are the 4th fastest team with 350 and 349 kph. Williams in the hands of Alex Albon is the quickest in terms of straight line speed, as Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz start the flying lap, and it's Charles Leclerc giving a toe to it's Carlos Sainz giving a toe to Charles Leclerc. As I said, if you guys don't know a toe, it's the driver in front punching a hole in air for the driver behind, so that the driver behind can go much faster in straights and have a much better lap times. So yeah, first sector split 26-4 for Carlos Sainz and 26-6 for Charles Leclerc. So again, for the second lap running, Charles Leclerc I think is making an error into the first turn or something like that, because he is losing approximately 2 tenths in the first sector. Second sector split, Carlos Sainz 27-1, Charles Leclerc 26-9. We start the third sector here for the Scuderia Ferrari drivers, and Carlos Sainz currently going on the final corner. The car looks good, but not, I would say, still maybe a bit more slow than the McLarens, to be honest. As here is Carlos Sainz around the final corner. Carlos Sainz goes fastest, and soon after it's Charles Leclerc who goes fastest now. So Charles Leclerc currently is at top of the pile with a lap time of 1 minute 20.296. I think Ferraris are on a set of use softs, because this lap times is slower than what they did into the Q1. So yeah, definitely Ferrari on use soft there. Carlos Sainz doing a lap time which is just 32 milliseconds slower than his teammate. So yeah, Charles Leclerc's major losses were sector 1, which were 2 tenths, which is quite a lot around Monza. So Charles Leclerc definitely needs to sort out the sector 1 if he needs to get pole position. Here is Max Verstappen on his flying lap. Right behind him is Oscar Piastri, and right behind him is Lando Norris. Lando Norris through the first sector 3 tenths faster than Leclerc. Norris is absolutely acing qualifying this weekend. Here's Max Verstappen round the final few corners. I think maybe Max is on a set of new soft tires here. Yeah, Max is on new tires. That's why he is looking quite quick as compared to the Ferraris. Max Verstappen crosses the line, goes fastest, 4 tenths faster than Charles Leclerc. But obviously Ferrari on a set of old tires, Verstappen on a set of new tires. Here is Oscar Piastri crossing the line and goes even faster. A 10th and a half faster than Max Verstappen goes Oscar Piastri. The next to cross the line will be his teammate Lando Norris, who is looking quite great this weekend. Lando Norris rounds the final corner, goes P1, 800s faster than Oscar Piastri. So yeah, the McLarens and Red Bull of Verstappen on a set of new soft tires. The Ferraris on a set of old soft, so not directly comparable, but between Norris, Piastri and Verstappen, Verstappen seems to be the slowest of the three. And Lando Norris fastest, but not by a lot, as his teammate Oscar Piastri is right behind him. The only 3 drivers in the 1 minute 19s are Norris, Piastri and Verstappen. Mercedes, let's see what lap Mercedes I think Mercedes are on a set of new soft tires here, so definitely different tire allocations going on in different parts of the garages. Ferrari opting for less soft tires as compared to the rivals. Alex Albon is also on his flying lap. It will be interesting to see where Alex Albon slots in, because he has been quite great throughout this whole weekend. So yeah, in the meantime, there is no one crossing the line. So thank you everyone for all the support. Please don't forget to like this stream and subscribe the channel. Your every subscription really helps and motivates me a lot. So yeah, back to Albon. Through sector 1, decent time there for Albon. Sector 2 and sector 3, okay. So sector 2, not so great lap time, but still will do for at least P8 or P9. As here is Alex Albon into the third sector, and first sector, Russell and Hamilton are almost matching Lando Norris there. So Mercedes definitely are finding some pace, at least in this part of qualifying. Let's see what lap time they can do. As here is Alex Albon crossing the line, goes P8. So yeah, decent lap from Alex. Not so great, not so worst, but yeah, needs to improve quite a lot if he wants to get into Q3 there. Mercedes are looking good through the first two sectors. George Russell, after the first two sectors, is almost matching Lando Norris. No, is a tenth and a half slower than Norris. Let's see what he can do. Fernando Alonso is nowhere near Norris's time as he was 12 months ago. Lewis Hamilton matches Lando Norris, so the first two sectors. Let's see where the Mercedes slots in after the first runs. George Russell rounding the final corner here, foot to the floor, and George Russell goes P4, a tenth and a half slower than Lando Norris. So yeah, decent lap there from the Mercedes. Here is Fernando Alonso, goes P10. Lewis Hamilton, the next to cross the line, goes fastest. Lewis Hamilton goes fastest, a tenth faster than Lando Norris, a 1 minute 19.641 from the 7-time world champ. Definitely, just for your information, both the Mercedes were on a set of brand new tires, so lap times between Mercedes and McLaren are directly comparable here, as here are the Ferraris now starting the flying laps. Carlos Sainz, Charles Leclerc on a set of brand new soft tires, so now it will be directly comparable within the 7 drivers. I said the 7 drivers: Norris, Piastri, Sainz, Leclerc, Hamilton, Russell and Verstappen, the 7 front running contenders for getting pole position. Carlos Sainz goes fastest in sector 1, Charles Leclerc a 10 slower than his teammate. Through sector 2, Carlos Sainz matches Lewis Hamilton, 53.265 for Carlos Sainz. Let's see what sector split will be for Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc a 10 slower than Lewis Hamilton. Not a great lap there for Charles Leclerc here at the moment. Carlos Sainz rounding the final corner. Let's see where he slots in. Maybe third or second fastest here, because the Ferrari definitely a bit slower than Mercedes in the final sector. Carlos Sainz crosses the line, goes P3, a tenth and a half slower than Lewis Hamilton. So let's see what lap time his teammate Leclerc can do, who generally goes quite well in qualifying. Charles Leclerc stays 7th. Well, where did he do that mistake? Because surely this is not the actual pace from Leclerc. We all know he's capable of much more than this. So yeah, not a great lap time there from Leclerc, 1 minute 20.007. 3.5 tenths slower than Lewis Hamilton, but I think will be enough to make it into Q3 there. So at the moment, first run done for all the teams and drivers, and it's Lewis Hamilton, the 5-time winner here at Monza, the most number of wins alongside Michael Schumacher, is currently first position with Lando Norris in P2, Carlos Sainz P3, Oscar Piastri P4, the top 4 separated by a tenth and a half. Then we have Verstappen in 5th, Russell, Leclerc and Perez. And then in the bottom 5 we have Alonso, Magnussen, Gasly, Ocon and Ricciardo. So yeah, the car is not turning at all again. So Charles Leclerc is complaining on the radio that his car is not turning at all. So definitely a sign of concern there for the Ferraris, because Charles is definitely Ferrari's golden boy here to take pole position, and if he's struggling, Ferrari definitely need to look into it, because if Ferrari wants to get pole, I think it will be Charles, because the raw amount of raw pace he has within him is absolutely unmatchable in qualifying here. So yeah, 5 minutes to go in Q2 session, and as I said, drivers in the bottom 5 are Alonso, Magnussen, Gasly, Ocon and Ricciardo. Ricciardo I think had a scrappy lap because he's almost 1.6 seconds slower than the leaders, so definitely a lot to come there from Daniel Ricciardo. Fernando Alonso I think is doing the absolute maximum this car can produce, because this is not the same Aston Martin which it was at the start of 2023. Surely much slower than that. So yeah, Fernando Alonso, I hope will be able to maybe just make it into Q3, but yeah, at the moment a tenth slower than making into Q3. Then we have Magnussen and Gasly, Ocon and Ricardo. Personally, I will say Gasly and Ocon maybe won't make it into Q3 because, as I said at the start of the stream, Alpine have been saying this week in week out that they are almost 25 horsepower down on the rivals in terms of straight line speed. So yeah, I don't see the Alpines making it out into Q3, but maybe surely Magnussen has a chance, or maybe even Alonso. So the drivers now rolling out on the track for the final runs into Q2 in an attempt to make it into the final part of qualifying. So in the meantime, when these drivers are on their warm-up laps, everyone please don't forget to like the stream and subscribe the channel. Your support really helps and motivates me a lot. So yeah, I will just type in the live chat for those who are not maybe watching the stream on mute. Okay, so done in the live chat as well, and back to on track action here. Who is this? Gasly. Okay, so Gasly is on his warm up lap, and I think Albon will be the first driver maybe to start his flying lap. No, it's not Albon. I think it's Alonso to start the flying lap. 2.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session, and I don't expect the likes of Hamilton and Norris to be out on track. Oh, Nico Hülkenberg sets the fastest first sector of the race of qualifying. That's quite interesting. This might raise some eyebrows in the garages of Hamilton, Norris and Sainz. Thank you for the subscription there. It really helps me a lot. Cheers for the support. Kevin Magnussen is on his flying lap. 26.5 for his first sector. His teammate Nico Hülkenberg does a 26.3. So fastest first sector there from Nico Hülkenberg. Sergio Perez 26.4 from the first sector. Not bad. I think might be safe to make it into Q3 there. Hülkenberg 27.1 in the second sector. Verstappen doing 26.3, and so is Oscar Piastri. So the lap times in first sector very much matched for all the drivers, and the drivers that dearly need to improve here are Alonso, Magnussen, Gasly, Ocon and Ricardo. I think everyone below George Russell maybe needs to improve the lap time here, because the track is ramping up so much that there is definitely 3 to 4 times gain by every driver here. So yeah, let's see what lap time Hülkenberg can do. Fastest in sector 1, not a great sector 2, and a decent sector 3 as well. So it seems that Hülkenberg might have used his tires a lot in sector 1 and didn't leave any tire for sector 2 and 3. So not great there for Nico Hülkenberg. Stays P9. Max Verstappen crosses the line, goes P2. Still is slower than Lewis Hamilton. So definitely quite concerning there for the Red Bull driver, because they definitely need to be much quicker than this if they want to be in the fight for the championship. So yeah, the other drivers to cross the line are Daniel Ricciardo, who goes P11 and just misses out on Q3. So Daniel Ricciardo's qualifying is over, and here is Alex Albon on his lap time, currently improving, and I think he's safe. I think Albon should be safe because the likes of Ocon and Gasly is not improving. Ocon is on a decent lap. Alonso is on a decent lap as well. So yeah, let's see what these drivers can do here. But surely qualifying is over for Daniel Ricciardo there. 19 milliseconds slower than Alex Albon, as now Alex Albon crosses the line and goes P1. Sorry. My mistake. I was looking at Hamilton's lap. Alex Albon goes P9, 6 tenths slower behind Lewis Hamilton. Alonso is the next one to close the line, as it's checkered flag in Q2. Alonso is the next one to cross the line. Goes P11 now. Again, just misses out to make into Q3 by 10 milliseconds. The other drivers who are on a current lap are Gasly and Ocon, but no improvements there. So that is it for Q2. The drivers knocked out are Alonso, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Gasly and Ocon. And it's Lewis Hamilton, fastest of all in Q2. Sorry for the pause there. My mobile was out of charge, so I was putting just in charging. So here is George Russell. I think he is on a not so useful lap because he is already safe and is makes it into Q3 there. So yeah, as things stands, Lewis Hamilton is quickest. And as a Mercedes fan and a Lewis fan, I absolutely love it because I mean, I agree. Lewis Hamilton set his lap time a bit late than the likes of Norris and Piastri, but still he is faster than Max Verstappen, who was not able to beat Lewis even on his second flying lap. So yeah, definitely quite a decent pace there from the Mercedes drivers, P1 and P6. Russell definitely can improve there a bit. So yeah, uh, Mercedes looking in great shape. Ferrari P4 and P7 with Sainz and Leclerc. I think maybe a 2 tenths. There are maybe more than 2 tenths in the lap for Charles Leclerc there. So yeah, the fight for pole is definitely ramping up here, and I would say it is like almost a tenth and a half or 2 tenths separating the top 7 drivers. So yeah, quite interesting to see who prevails out on top in Q3. But yeah, good news, guys. Sergio Perez is through. I did not notice that one, but yeah, Checo, quite decent performance there to make it into Q3. And yeah, I mean it's quite too late for Checo now because the points he has dropped in the rounds of Monaco and all that European races. It has helped McLaren quite a lot to climb up to the back of Red Bull there. So yeah, maybe there is chance of rescue if McLaren have a bad race, but I think it's championship lost for Red Bull at least in the constructors battle. As yeah, as I was saying, fight for pole is definitely on between again the 7 drivers. I would like to take the name: Hamilton, Russell, Sainz, Leclerc, Norris, Piastri, and Max Verstappen. Sadly, Sergio Perez is not a part of that elite group for taking a pole position, but I would say still P8 or P8 will be the best I think he might get. So yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for Q3 now, and the drivers making it through to Q3 are Hamilton, Verstappen, Norris, Sainz, Piastri, Russell, Leclerc, Perez, Alonso, and Hulkenberg, as you can see on your screens as well. But the fight for pole, realistically talking, I don't think Max is very okay. So Q3 will begin in 3 minutes time. So Q3 to begin in 3 minutes. But as I was saying, I will say Max doesn't seem to be the front runner to take pole position here because even on his second flying lap he was not able to go fastest. So yeah, Verstappen definitely off the pace here by quite a lot. I would say Norris looks to be the favorite to take pole position because the McLaren looked quite quick in Q1 and Q2. Though Lewis Hamilton is fastest, but Lando Norris set his lap time much earlier than Lewis Hamilton set. So yeah, Norris seems to be the favorite to take pole position. His teammate Oscar Piastri is quite close to him as well. So yeah, any of the McLaren seem to be the front runners. The Mercedes are that half a tenth behind, but yeah, any magical lap from Lewis or Russell will definitely launch them up to that front spot of the grid. Talking about Ferrari, they are great, but I will say they are unable to put together a great lap together, which is causing them to not be out at front. So yeah, if they are able to put a great lap, maybe some extraordinary corners required, they can be in the chance for pole as well. But I think it will be a fight for pole between McLaren and Mercedes. That is the two Mercedes power car here at Monza. So yeah, 1 minute until Q3 is underway. In the meantime, thank you very much everyone for all the support. It really helps and motivates me a lot. So yeah, be sure to like this stream and subscribe the channel so that you don't miss tomorrow's stream as well. Tomorrow also I will be streaming for the race with my commentary. So yeah, be sure to subscribe the channel, and as you can see on the screen, we are just 15 subscribers away from the target. So please be sure to subscribe the channel. It really helps and motivates me a lot. So yeah, back to Q3. The pit lane will be open in a minute's time. Okay, so pit lane is now open. Pit lane now open, and Q3 is underway. I set the timer to 12 minutes. So 12 minutes until we find out the driver who will be starting at the front of the pack for the Italian Grand Prix, the 16th round of this Formula 1 World Championship that is currently led by Max Verstappen and Red Bull. But I don't think the lead of Red Bull will be staying quiet for a long time. So yeah, Q3 underway, and the cars are now rolling out of the pits onto the track. The drivers currently on track are Albon and Hulkenberg. Thank you for the subscription there. It really means a lot. Just 14 subscribers to go, guys. Let's go. Let's get to the target at least by the end of tomorrow's stream. It will mean quite a lot. So yeah, back to the on-track action. The drivers are now rolling out to onto the grid onto the track. They will roll out on the grid tomorrow, not today. So yeah, be sure to tune in for tomorrow's stream as well. I hope it will be an interesting Italian Grand Prix, because let's hope there is some surprise in qualifying. That means the likes of maybe Verstappen is on pole position, so that we get faster drivers overtaking. That means we can see some lead change, because see, what makes a race interesting is lead changes. As much overtake for lead there are, the race is more interesting. No one likes. Just a moment, guys. I'll be stopping the commentary for 2 minutes.
Controlling a bit for them. Copy that. Which corners?
Sorry for the interruption there. There was some work, so yeah. Back to qualifying. A lot of people have left, it seems. So yeah, but anyways, whoever is there, thanks for tuning in. As here is Oscar Piastri, who sets off for his first flying lap of the session. As Alex Albon, in the meantime, completes his flying lap and does a lap time of 1 minute 20.870. So definitely nowhere near the fastest lap time. The fastest laps currently are in the 1 minute 19. So definitely out of the contention there, Alex Albon. Surely he was not there, but still. Nico Hulkenberg, 1 minute 20.4, decent lap there. And the next driver to cross the line will be Sergio Perez, 1 minute 20.062. Okay, that's a great lap. That's a great lap from Checo, but soon after there is Oscar Piastri, who crosses the line and 1 minute 19.436. Okay, so that was not a great lap from Checo, definitely, because he's still 6 tenths of the pace of the likes of McLaren's. The next driver to cross the line will be Lando Norris and goes fastest. Lando Norris goes fastest, but by 35 milliseconds over his teammates. So yeah, the two McLaren boys definitely seem to be quite close to each other here at the moment. So yeah, 1:19.401 for Norris and 1 minute 19.436 for Piastri. Let's see where Max Verstappen slots in. Max Verstappen goes P6. Well, Max Verstappen goes slower than his teammate Sergio Perez. That's interesting to see. George Russell now crosses the line, goes P3, a tenth and a half slower than Lando Norris, and Lewis Hamilton soon after goes P4, 2 tenths slower than Lando Norris. Oh, that's an interesting formation. On the screen you can see it's a McLaren first row. Okay, wait. It's a McLaren first row, Mercedes second row, Ferrari third row, and a Red Bull fourth row. So yeah, it's the order which I predicted. It will be McLaren, Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull. So yeah. First runs in Q3 are done, and it's McLaren and Lando Norris who have provisional pole position with a lap time of 1 minute 19.401. Oscar Piastri is almost at the back of his teammate with a lap time of 1 minute 19.436. The Mercedes, as I said, tenth and a half slower than the front running pack. Third and fourth, Ferrari now 2 tenths slower than the front running pack. 3 tenths slower in fifth and sixth, and Red Bull 6 tenths slower than the front running pack in seventh and eighth. Interesting to see. Sergio Perez is currently ahead of Max Verstappen. And guys, when you look at the lap time gaps, the gap between Norris and Piastri is 35 milliseconds. That is teammates. The gap between Hamilton and Russell is 32 milliseconds. The gap between Sainz and Leclerc is 3 milliseconds, and gap between Perez and Verstappen is 10 milliseconds. So yeah, all the teammates are currently running very close to each other. Like 30 milliseconds is the gap between the inter-team battle. So yeah, this absolutely shows how much to the peak all the drivers are performing at the moment. So first run's done, and its advantage McLaren, and not only McLaren, advantage Norris as Norris, because Verstappen is currently 8th. So if we look at the scenario of the driver standings, Norris scoring 25 points, Verstappen scoring 4 points. So yeah, definitely advantage to Norris and McLaren there. And if things stay as they are in the race as well, McLaren will take the lead of the constructor standings. So yeah, not great showing there for Red Bull. They currently see what I was saying, that Formula 1 stat is absolutely useless. I showed the stat at the start of FP3. It showed Norris, McLaren's were quickest. Red Bull were very close, like half a tenth behind McLaren. Then Ferrari was a tenth behind McLaren, and Mercedes 2.5 tenths behind McLaren. But here we are. Mercedes are the closest competitors, and Red Bulls are the farthest competitors. So yeah, that stat that. We can say that data from Formula 1 is absolutely useless, as 5 minutes to go until Q3 is ending. So yeah, all the drivers will be in the pits, and I hope there is no similar situation to Monza 2019, where not a single driver gets on track, and when they do, it's checkered flag. So let's hope it's not the same mess, but I hope it won't be. So yeah, let's see what the teams and drivers can do here. Norris, Piastri, McLaren the team to beat. Mercedes very close behind. Maybe a magical lap from Russell or Hamilton can put them on pole position. But I will say at the moment, the pole is very much going to the way of Norris and Piastri there. So, yeah. Let's see. 4 minutes to go. I will say the drivers will be on track within a minute and a half, I will say. So, yeah. Let's see what they can do, because I'm absolutely hyped up for qualifying. The 4 teams which we expected to be fastest are within 6 tenths of each other and are in the top 8 as well. So, yeah. Great to see. If this will be the grid for tomorrow, the starting grid video will look quite amazing, because the color code will be very much matching the orange and the orange, the blue and the blue, the yellow and the yellow. Yellow for Ferrari, if you guys might know, and the blue and the blue for Red Bull as well. So yeah, 3.5 minutes, and now I won't look on my data screen, because if you guys, some of you guys might have noticed, my data screen is approximately 15 seconds higher than the international feed. So this very much ruins the excitement and enthusiasm. So I will follow along as the screen goes on. I won't look at the live watching counter as well. Currently 12 people watching. So before the final laps begin, thank you very much for all the support. Please don't forget to like the stream and subscribe the channel. We are just 14 subscribers away from the target. So yeah, let's get there by the end of tomorrow. It will really mean a lot to me. So out on track currently, Perez and Verstappen. The Red Bulls are the first drivers, the first cars to get on track. Then it's Hülkenberg and Albon. So yeah, the bottom 4 drivers are the first ones to get out, and 3 minutes to go. So I think the drivers should now start rolling on track, otherwise it will be a bit more late. The McLaren's on track as well, Norris and Piastri on track now. The Ferraris and the Mercedes. Okay, so it is not a similar mess to Monza 2019, thank God. 2.5 minutes to go. Norris has an advantage, 36 milliseconds behind his ahead of his teammate. The Mercedes seem to be quick, but not by as much. So are the Ferraris and so are the Red Bulls. So yeah, Q3 is underway. These are the laps that matter. These are the laps that will set the grid for tomorrow's race. The top 10 shootout is underway. 2 minutes to go here at Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. And looking for the slipstream, as I was saying, the toe which the drivers are giving to each other. In the McLaren battle, Lando Norris is giving a toe to Oscar Piastri. In the Ferrari battle, Carlos Sainz is giving a toe to Charles Leclerc. George Russell is giving a toe to Lewis Hamilton, but they are running quite far off on the track, you can see. And it's Sergio Perez giving a toe to Max Verstappen. As Max Verstappen sets on his flying lap, let's see what lap time he does. 344 kps for Max Verstappen to the speed trap. 11 viewers, stay tuned in, don't go anywhere. This is it. These are the laps that matter. Max Verstappen on his flying lap. Let's see what first sector times he does. 26.4 for Norris through in his best effort. Max Verstappen goes faster. 26.3 for Max Verstappen. So advantage in sector 1 for Max Verstappen. But it was not the personal best. So the Red Bull is already quite fast in sector 1. The laps with the places where they need to find the lap time is sectors 2 and 3. Lando Norris sets on his flying lap as out at front. Oh, I think Sergio Perez went to the gravel there. Oh, holy moly. I think Perez's lap time is done. He was through the gravel, which kicked a lot of smoke on the track and surely distracted Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen to the second sector, not improving. A tenth and a half slower than Lando Norris there. And I think maybe Perez can give a toe here to Verstappen. Let's see what he does. Yeah, Sergio Perez is definitely giving a toe to Max Verstappen here. And Perez aborts his flying lap. Max Verstappen will be the only Red Bull to cross the line. Let's see where he slots in. It's not quite a great lap. I think the track has slowed down quite a bit here. Max Verstappen crosses the line, improves his lap time 1 minute 20.022, a bit slower than his Q2 time, and is only 7th. So Max Verstappen will start the Italian Grand Prix from 7th position. Lando Norris is improving his lap time, and Carlos Sainz is fastest in sector 1. Going through here, Lando Norris crosses the line. Let's see what lap time does. Lando Norris goes faster, 700 faster than his original lap time. Oh, net drop. What happened? My feet just stuck there, so I'm not sure. What happened. Yeah, back to stream. Lando Norris goes fastest. Carlos Sainz, even with the purple sector, can do nothing and goes P5. Then we have George Russell, who will be the next one to cross the line. Can he deny Lando Norris of a pole position? No, he can't. George Russell moves up to P3. The next driver to cross the line will be Lewis Hamilton. Can Lewis Hamilton produce a Monza magic and go to pole position? No, Lewis Hamilton crosses the line and stays in 6th position. So it's Lando Norris who takes the pole for the Italian Grand Prix. Lando Norris is on pole. It's a front row lockout at Monza for McLaren. George Russell slots into P3, Charles Leclerc P4, Carlos Sainz P5, Lewis Hamilton P6, and the top 6 separated by a tenth and a half. Well. How round the turntables. Last season, it was Verstappen at pole and McLaren were quite a long way behind. This season, it's again a front row lockout for the McLarens and Max Verstappen. The main championship rival of Lando Norris is starting only 7th. Wow, that was some intense qualifying. As I said, you guys, be tuned in. But a main thing to notice, Lando Norris was a 10th clear of his teammate. And the gap between Piastri and Hamilton, less than a 10th. So yeah, if Hamilton would have improved by a 10th on his lap, he would have been on the front row, but he is currently starting on the 3rd row there. So yeah, well, that's a nice qualifying at least. I said it will be a 7-car battle. Unfortunately, it was not, but it was a 6-car battle though. And the gap between 1st and 6th, 1.8 seconds, 1.8 milliseconds, sorry, 1.89, okay, Norris radio. Wow, this setup was amazing, says Lando Norris. It's a front row lockout from McLaren, guys. If McLaren are able to hold positions for tomorrow's race, and if Red Bull, which were the strongest team in terms of race pace, but if Red Bull are not able to charge to the field tomorrow, both the championships are on. Because if things stand as they are, Norris 25 points, Piastri 18 points, McLaren will be scoring 43 points, and Red Bull will be scoring 4 and 2, 6 and 4, 10 points. So as things stands, Norris and McLaren will be taking the lead of the constructor standings, and the gap in the driver standings will be down to 50 points. So yeah, George Russell is P3 at the moment, just a 10th off from pole position. So definitely not bad effort there from the Mercedes driver, but definitely not what Mercedes might have wanted. Surely P3 and P6 is a good position, but it's like, see, when you are just 10th of pole position, the feeling, I have never driven a Formula 1 car, but we can understand the feeling is like, just a bit more pushing through the corner XYZ, or just a bit getting more early on the power, and you were on pole. So amazing qualifying. Gap between pole and 6th position is a 10th, but more interestingly, as I said, the gap between pole position, 2nd position and 6th position is less than a 10th of a second. So yeah, great qualifying, great battles out there. We are gonna have definitely a great race tomorrow. So thank you very much for all the support. Be sure to tune in for the race tomorrow as well. It's gonna be amazing. I said in FP3 the qualifying is gonna be amazing. It was amazing. The race is definitely gonna be amazing as well. So don't fail to tune into the race as well. There will be obviously the same kind of stream with commentary and live telemetry as well. Okay, as I said on Checo's lap, I think surely he made a mistake out there. So the second Lesmo, Sergio Perez, went a bit wide and yeah, into the gravel. So not great there for Sergio Perez, who was looking quite quick. Even after the fastest lap from Max Verstappen, he was only 400s faster than Checo Perez. So if Sergio would have been able to put that lap together, surely he had a great chance of maybe getting ahead of Max Verstappen and out qualifying him. But it is what it is. Sergio Perez again out qualified by Max Verstappen there. So yeah, thank you very much for all the support. It really means a lot to me. We are just 14 subscribers away from the target, so be sure to subscribe the channel so that you don't miss any upcoming live streams. And I will just now search for the graphics which shows the qualifying results and put it on the screen in front of you guys. But oh boy, what a qualifying it was. I expected it to be a banger, and it was a banger. Though the front positions didn't change quite a lot, but looking at the gaps, we are like, oh boy, that was a qualifying. Yeah, the graphic is right here. So we'll transition to the end screen now, and there you go. There is OBS. Just a second, I will bring on the graphic. These are FP3 results on your screen at the moment. And yeah, guys, be sure to subscribe to the channel, because as soon as the stream is over, I will be publishing the video about the starting grid for tomorrow's race. So it will be easier for you guys to sort out the starting grid and not watch the whole qualifying again. So the starting grid for tomorrow's race will be live on channel within, I will say, 35 to 40 minutes. So yeah, be sure to subscribe to the channel. As I said, just 14 subscribers. Let's get there by tomorrow. It will really help and motivate me a lot. So yeah, thank you for all the support. Yeah, and the end screen is underway. And here are the qualifying results. Save images. We can go for qualifying. Yeah, sorry that yep was a bit over hyped because I had Oscar Piastri on my screen. So yep, that was an Oscar Piastri. Yep, and here are the quali results. So yep. Let's listen to what Russell has to say here. Yeah, super happy with third, says George Russell. Russell asked about what does he think about the race tomorrow. Russell says we are gonna have a tight battle tomorrow. We have all been waiting for this competition. If we do a great job, we have a chance for the victory. So yeah. Why could Piastri get a penalty? You can say me, mate. F1 boy, Jaumar, please watch him. Russell sarcastically saying that he will surely look on to put some weight tonight so that he doesn't come underweight tomorrow. So yeah, Lando Norris's interview now. Pole for Lando, man, again. Now let's see if Lando leads the lap one again this race as well. Talking about the Ferraris, at least, yeah, let's talk about the Ferraris in qualifying first of all. The Ferraris looked hooked in the first sector, like they were very much okay. So why did anyone unsubscribe there? I'm sorry if you didn't like my commentary, but please don't unsubscribe, because yeah, we are just 14 subscribers away now. We have 15 subscribers, so yeah. Please don't forget. Okay, he subscribed again, so he was just messing around. So thank you. But yeah, as I was saying, the Ferraris looked quite hooked into sector 1, but as soon as the lap passed by in sectors 2 and 3, the Ferraris were losing quite a lot of pace. So yeah, Ferrari definitely need to work on the race pace tomorrow, because qualifying is done and dusted. Let's sorry, let's hope they have a great race pace and maybe a podium. I will say the chances for the win are quite less for Ferrari starting 4th and 5th, because the McLarens looked rapid, Mercedes is rapid as well. So yeah, let's see tomorrow for the race. Norris is also saying he's not expecting an easy race win tomorrow, and I also expect the race to be quite extreme tomorrow. We have had 12 likes in the stream, guys, so thank you for all the support. 530 views. Thank you for all the support. As I said, be sure to tune in for tomorrow's race as well. It's gonna be a hell of a race tomorrow, and it's gonna be quite amazing. So yeah, be sure to tune in for tomorrow's race, and race be insane. F124 gamer, totally agree with my friend. Totally agree with you. The race, I know overtaking at Monza is one of the difficult one maybe, but if we are able to somehow get some few overtakes, because as I said in the stream as well, Monza is quite infamous for the DRS trains. So if DRS train is not formed, we can definitely see a great fight for a win tomorrow. But as I said, if things stands as they are, it will be quite an interesting championship battle, because McLaren will take the Constructors Championships lead, and Lando Norris will bring the gap in the driver standings down to 50 points. So yeah, still 50 points, 8 rounds is quite a lot, but still I will say McLaren and Norris will be trying for absolute best and get the race win tomorrow, and hoping that Red Bull have a bad race. Maybe Max finishing 7th or 6th will be the ideal scenario for McLaren there tomorrow. So yeah, I will be again resuming the commentary in 5 to 10 minutes. In the meantime, I just give a break to my throat as well. So I will be tuning up the music. You can see the results for qualifying on your screen, and also I will simultaneously begin the work for the work of starting grid for the Italian Grand Prix as well. So yeah, stay tuned in the channel, please. So just a quick rundown of qualifying before I end the stream and begin my work for the starting grid video. We saw, wait a second, I will just lower the audio. Yep, there we go. We saw in Q1 the drivers that were knocked out. Let me open the image as well so it's quite easy for me. This PC. Yeah. So in Q1 we saw the drivers that were knocked out were Tsunoda, Stroll, Colapinto, Bottas and Zhou. So a big surprise there was definitely Lance Stroll because the Aston Martin seemed to be quite decent on this track this weekend. P17 Definitely not the position he would like to start. For Colapinto, the Williams is good. We saw Alex Albon starting P9, but yeah, Colapinto made a mistake on his flying lap and unfortunately will start the race from P18. The kick Saubers a dustbin it is. P19, P20, definitely hopeless there. Yuki Tsunoda had upgraded car this weekend. Daniel Ricciardo didn't have the upgraded car because RB said that they had only one upgrade prepared and Yuki is higher in the championship, so he gets the upgraded car. But Yuki definitely not able to make the most of the car, starting P16 tomorrow. Then into Q2, the drivers knocked out were Alonso, Ricardo, Magnussen, Gasly and Ocon. Definitely not a big surprise for Gasly and Ocon because we all know the Alpine engine is down by around 25 horsepower in terms of straight line speed. So this was definitely going to be a hard track for them this weekend, and so it was. P14, P15 for tomorrow's race. Magnussen is 13th, Ricardo is 12th, Alonso is 11th. No big surprise there. Into Q3, the session that matters. A quick rundown of the top 10 drivers. It's Lando Norris who will start the race on pole position. Oscar Piastri's teammate will start alongside him in P2. The gap between the McLaren drivers is a tenth, which is quite a lot considering how close qualifying has been this season. Then it's Russell in P3. Great lap there from the British driver at the end, popping his Mercedes into P3. Charles Leclerc P4, Carlos Sainz P5. The Ferrari not able to give their home fans a third pole in a row. But yeah, the car seems great, the car seems stable, and maybe we can see a Ferrari podium tomorrow as well. Lewis Hamilton was looking great throughout the qualifying but was not able to hook up a lap in the final part and starts tomorrow from P6. Biggest surprise, Max Verstappen P7, Sergio Perez P8. That's, I would say, definitely the biggest surprise there because Sergio Perez at one moment was even ahead of Max Verstappen in qualifying. It was that on his final lap that he made the mistake and dropped back, or else I would say that Sergio Perez might even start ahead of Max Verstappen in tomorrow's race. But 7th and 8th, not the position Red Bull would have hoped for. In P9, it's Alex Albon. We all knew the Williams is quick and yep, delivers Alex Albon P9, and Nico Hülkenberg rounds out the top 10. So tomorrow's race is definitely going to be exciting, and it will be McLaren trying to defend their 1-2. It will be Mercedes trying to attack and make it 4 wins in this season. It will be Ferrari trying to give joy to Tifosi and take the race win. I don't think Red Bull are in contention for race win. The race pace was strong but not quite as strong as it has been previously, so it will be quite hard for Max and Checo to fly by in the field and move up some places. So I will say a battle between the McLarens and the Ferraris and Mercedes for race win tomorrow. So be sure to tune in for the race tomorrow. I'll be streaming live along with commentary and live telemetry as well. So be sure to tune in, like the channel, subscribe the stream so that you don't miss any upcoming streams. So thank you for all the support. It's Lando Norris on pole, Oscar Piastri alongside him, and George Russell in P3. The biggest question, can Lando Norris hold up to his lead into turn 1? Which on his previous 8 pole starts he hasn't been. Let's see if he can change the history tomorrow. But yeah, that's it for qualifying. Thank you for all the support, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the race stream. I will now start my work on the starting grid for the Italian Grand Prix. So be sure to check out that video on my channel as well. But yeah, thank you for all the support. See you guys for the race tomorrow, and have a great day ahead.
Watchalong.